They believed that was the end of it. But in truth, that was the day I buried the last piece of myself that cared. My name is Kylie, and I'm 29 years old. 6 months ago, I was planning a wedding. Today, I'm sitting at my childhood kitchen table, watching my father slide my car keys across the scratched wood surface toward my younger sister like he's dealing cards. Delilah needs reliable transportation, Dad says, not looking at me. She's got the kids to think about. I stare at those keys. Silver Honda key, black plastic fob with the unlock button worn smooth from 2 years of my thumb. I bought that car with money from working double shifts at the coffee shop while Jake and I saved for our future. Back when I thought I had one. Doug, maybe we should discuss this as a family, Mum says, wringing her dish towel like she's trying to strangle it. We are discussing it. Dad's voice has that final tone I remember from childhood. Kylie doesn't need a car. She works from home now. I work from home because I can't afford to move out. I work from home because when Jake called off our engagement 6 weeks before the wedding, I had nowhere else to go. I work from home because my parents offered me their basement temporarily in exchange for cooking, cleaning, and basically running their household, while they pretend I'm doing them a favour by existing here. Delilah examines her nails. My car finally died yesterday. Won't even start. Ross was supposed to help me fix it, but you know how that goes. Ross is her ex-boyfriend and the father of her 2 kids. He shows up when he needs money and disappears when the kids need diapers. But somehow, this is my problem to solve. I need to get to work, I say quietly. You can take the bus, Dad says, or get rides. Delilah can't take 2 kids on the bus. The bus route to my office takes an hour and 15 minutes each way. My car takes 20 minutes. But I don't say this because I learned months ago that logic doesn't work in this house. Only volume does, and I stopped raising my voice the day I moved back in. The car's in my name, I say instead. And this house is in mine, Dad shoots back. You want to start keeping score? Mum makes a soft sound. Kylie, honey, you know we're not charging you rent. We're all making sacrifices here. Sacrifices. Like the sacrifice of doing their laundry every day. The sacrifice of grocery shopping with my own money because they're between paychecks. The sacrifice of cooking dinner every night while they watch TV. The sacrifice of cleaning their bathroom because Delilah's kids make such a mess. I look at my sister. She's scrolling through her phone, probably posting about her car troubles on Facebook for sympathy. She's wearing the designer jeans I bought her for Christmas, the ones she said she desperately needed for a job interview that never happened. Kylie? Dad's waiting for an answer. I think about the morning Jake called everything off. How he said he couldn't see a future with me. How he said I was too accommodating and it made him feel like he was dating a doormat. How I packed my entire life into garbage bags and drove to my childhood home, thinking it would be temporary. I think about the conversation I had with my parents that first night. How they said I could stay as long as I needed, but I'd have to contribute to the household. How that contribution somehow became me doing everything while they did nothing. I think about my car sitting in their driveway, the only thing I own that's completely mine. The only thing that can take me away from here whenever I want. Fine, I say, and push the keys toward Delilah. It's yours. Dad nods like he expected this. Mom looks relieved. Delilah finally looks up from her phone and smiles. Thanks, sis. I really appreciate this. I'll take good care of it. I stand up from the table. I know you will. Where are you going? Mom asks. To call in sick, since I don't have a car to get to work anymore. I walk toward the basement stairs, and I can hear them already making plans. Dad's talking about getting Delilah's name added to the insurance. Mum's suggesting they celebrate with takeout. Delilah's calling her friend to brag about her new car. None of them thank me, but I didn't expect them to. What they don't know is that I've been planning for this moment. What they don't know is that I've been documenting everything. What they don't know is that giving up my car was never going to be the end of anything. It was going to be the beginning. The next morning, I'm scrubbing breakfast dishes when Delilah breezes into the kitchen, jingling my car keys like a wind chime. "I'm taking the kids to the park," she announces. "Then maybe some shopping. This car drives like a dream." She's wearing makeup for the first time in weeks. Her hair is actually brushed. Amazing what a little transportation can do for someone's self-esteem. "That's nice," I say, not turning around from the sink. "Oh, and Mom wants you to pick up groceries today. She left a list on the counter." I glance at the handwritten note. Organic this, gluten-free that. Expensive stuff. How am I supposed to get to the store? Bus? Uber? I don't know. Figure it out. I need the car today. The front door slams before I can respond. Through the window, I watch her buckle her kids into my car seats, the ones I bought because hers were recalled. She adjusts my rearview mirror, changes my radio station, and drives away. My phone buzzes. Text from Jade, my co-worker and the closest thing I have to a friend these days. "Coffee after work. I'm buying." "Can't. No car. Long story." "I'll pick you up. 5:30. At exactly 5:30, Jade's beat-up Toyota pulls into the driveway. I'm waiting on the porch with my laptop bag, having spent the day working from the kitchen table while Mum watched her stories and complained about the noise of my typing. "So," Jade says as I buckle my seatbelt, "what happened to your car?" "Family meeting. Delilah needed it more than I did." Jade stares at me. "You're kidding." "Nope. Dad's orders. I'm apparently more expendable than a single mum. Kylie, that's insane. It's your car." "Was my car." We drive to the coffee shop in silence. Jade orders us both lattes and finds a corner table away from the evening crowd. She slides my drink across the table and leans forward. "Okay, talk. What's really going on?" I tell her everything. The daily routine of cooking, cleaning, shopping, and childcare. The way they talk about me like I'm not in the room. How Dad refers to me as our live-in help when his friends come over. How Mum tells her church friends that I'm going through a rough patch, but never mentions that I'm basically their unpaid housekeeper. This morning, Mum asked me to iron Dad's shirts for the week, I say. When I pointed out that he's perfectly capable of ironing his own shirts, she said I was being ungrateful for their generosity. "Their generosity?" Jade's voice rises. "You're doing everything for them." "According to them, I'm getting free rent." "You're getting a basement room in exchange for full-time domestic labour. That's not generosity, that's exploitation." I sip my latte. It tastes like freedom. Like the life I used to have when I could drive myself places and make my own choices. "I've been keeping track," I say quietly. "Of what?" "Everything. Every meal I cook, every load of laundry, every grocery run, every time I babysit Delilah's kids so she can go out, every time I clean up after Dad's poker nights." Jade raises an eyebrow. "Why?" "Because I'm tired of being invisible. I'm tired of being treated like I owe them something for existing. So what are you going to do about it?" I pull out my phone and show her a note I've been keeping. Hours worked, tasks completed, money spent, 2 years of data, organised by month. Jesus, Kylie, this is like a full-time job. 2 full-time jobs. I calculated it last night. If I charged minimum wage for everything I do, they'd owe me over $60,000. Have you shown them this? What's the point? They'd just say I'm being dramatic. That family doesn't work that way. That I should be grateful they took me in. Jade studies the numbers on my phone. "You know what this reminds me of? When my cousin had that contractor who wouldn't pay him, he had to get a lawyer involved." "A lawyer?" "Yeah, this guy Van. He specialises in small business disputes, but he helped my cousin file a lien against the property until he got paid." I'm not sure how that applies to my situation. Maybe it doesn't, but maybe it does. Jade pulls out her phone. Want me to ask him? Just to see what he says? I think about this morning, about Delilah driving away in my car while I stood at the sink, washing dishes that weren't mine, about the grocery list with my name on it, written in my mother's handwriting like I'm the hired help. Yeah, I say. Ask him. Jade types quickly. I'm telling him you've been providing unpaid services to family members and want to know your options. I don't want to sue my family. You don't have to sue anyone, but maybe there's something else you can do, some way to make them understand what you're worth. My phone buzzes. Text from Mum. Where are you? Dinner won't make itself. I show Jade the message. She shakes her head. You're not going home to cook dinner, are you? I have to. They're expecting me. Kylie, you're 29 years old. You don't have to do anything. But I do go home. I cook dinner and serve it and clean up afterward while they watch TV. I do 3 loads of laundry and fold everything neatly. I pack lunches for Delilah's kids and set out their clothes for tomorrow. And all the while, I'm thinking about what Jade said. About lawyers and liens and making people understand what you're worth. When I finally get to bed, there's a text from Jade. Van says call him tomorrow. He has some ideas. I stare at the message until my eyes blur. Then I save his number in my phone. Van's office is in a strip mall between a nail salon and a tax prep place. The sign on the door reads, Van Brewer Legal Consultant, in faded gold letters. I almost turn around 3 times before finally knocking. Come in. He's younger than I expected, maybe mid-30s, with rolled-up sleeves and a coffee-stained tie. His desk is covered in papers, and there's a half-eaten sandwich next to his computer. You must be Kylie, Jade's friend. He gestures to a chair across from his desk. She said you have an interesting situation. I'm not sure if it's interesting or just pathetic. Try me. I pull out my phone and show him the notes I've been keeping. He scrolls through months of data, occasionally making small sounds of surprise. You've been tracking all of this. Every day for 2 years. Cooking, cleaning, childcare, grocery shopping, laundry, even mileage when I drive them places. And you're not being paid for any of this. They say I'm getting free rent. Van looks up from my phone. What's the market rate for rent in your area? Maybe $800 a month for a basement room. So, $19,000 over 2 years. He grabs the calculator. And you're providing how many hours of service per week? 40 to 50. Sometimes more when Delilah has emergencies. He punches numbers. At minimum wage, that's roughly $35,000 per year, times 2 years. He shows me the calculator. $70,000. That can't be right. It is. You've been providing $70,000 worth of labour in exchange for $19,000 worth of housing. They owe you $51,000. The number hits me like a slap. But they're family. Family doesn't exempt people from basic fairness. If anything, family should treat you better than strangers would. What can I do about it? Van leans back in his chair. Legally? Several things. You could file a claim for unpaid wages. You could sue for unjust enrichment. But those take time and money, and family court is messy. So I'm stuck. I didn't say that. He opens a filing cabinet and pulls out a folder. Tell me about your car. What about it? Jade mentioned they took it from you. Is it titled in your name? Yes, I bought it myself, paid it off myself, but they said Delilah needed it more. And you just gave it to her? What choice did I have? It's their house. Van slides a legal pad across the desk. I want you to write down exactly what happened, every detail of that conversation. I write for 10 minutes, describing the family meeting, Dad's ultimatum, the way they made me feel like I was being selfish for even hesitating. Van reads it over. This is coercion. They used your housing situation to force you to give up your property. Can I get it back? Maybe, but I have a better idea. He pulls out a blank form. Have you ever heard of a mechanic's lien? No. It's when someone provides services to improve or maintain property, and the property owner doesn't pay. The service provider can place a lien on the property until they're compensated. I don't understand how that applies to me. Your car is property. You've been providing services to your family, services that directly benefited them and allowed them to maintain their lifestyle, services they couldn't afford to pay for otherwise. I stare at him. You're saying I can put a lien on my own car? I'm saying you can put a lien on the car that's currently in your sister's possession. Yes, the car you were coerced into giving up in lieu of payment for services rendered. Is that legal? Completely. You'd be claiming the car as collateral for unpaid labour. If they want to keep it, they pay you what you're owed. If they can't pay, you get the car back. How much would I charge them? Van looks at his calculator again. Based on your documentation, I'd say $67,421. That's 2 years of labour minus the market value of your housing, plus interest and administrative fees. The number is so large it doesn't feel real. They'll never pay that. Then you get your car back. Plus, you'll have a legal document proving exactly what your labour was worth. Sometimes people need to see things in black and white before they understand. What would I have to do? First, we itemise everything, every service, every hour, every expense. Then we file the lien with the county. Then we serve them with official notice. And if they fight it, they can try. But you have 2 years of documentation, and they have, what? The argument that family should work for free? I think about this morning. About making breakfast for 6 people while Delilah slept in. About packing lunches and finding matching socks and wiping down counters that were already clean. About watching my car drive away with someone else behind the wheel. How long would this take? 2 weeks to prepare everything, another week to file and serve. After that, it's up to them. And you think this will work? Van closes the folder. I think it will get their attention. Whether it works depends on what you really want. I want my car back. Is that all you want? I look at the calculator still showing that impossible number. $67,000. 2 years of my life reduced to a figure on a screen. I want them to understand what I'm worth. Then let's make sure they do. Van pulls out a contract. My fee is $1,500 payable when you get your car back. Deal? I sign the contract before I can change my mind. One more thing, Van says as I'm leaving. Don't tell them what you're doing. Don't change your behaviour. Act normal until the papers are served. How am I supposed to act normal? Cook their meals, do their laundry, smile when they thank you. He grins. And document every single thing you do. We're going to need it. 2 weeks later, Mum announces they're throwing a celebration for Delilah's new car. Just a little backyard barbecue, she says, stirring pasta salad in a bowl I'll have to wash later. To show how proud we are of Delilah for getting back on her feet, I'm marinating chicken at the counter, trying not to laugh. Getting back on her feet with my car, my gas money, and my insurance payments. That sounds nice, I say. You'll handle the food, right? And maybe some decorations? Nothing fancy, just something cheerful. Of course. Dad walks in, already cracking open a beer even though it's only 3 o'clock. Did you tell her about the neighbours? What neighbours? I ask. The Johnsons and the Millers are coming, and Mrs. Patterson from across the street. We want everyone to see how well Delilah's doing. How well we're all doing, Mum corrects, as a family. I spend the afternoon setting up folding tables in the backyard and hanging streamers from the porch. Delilah arrives with her kids just as I'm lighting the grill, and she's practically glowing. "Look what I did." She holds up her phone, showing me a Facebook post with a picture of my car. The caption reads, "Finally got reliable transportation. So grateful for family who support each other. Blessed, just a new car, your family first." 43 likes already. "That's great," I say, flipping chicken. "I washed it this morning. It looks amazing. Want to see?" She leads me to the driveway, where my Honda sits gleaming in the afternoon sun. She's added fuzzy dice to the rearview mirror and a "baby on board" sticker to the back window. "I'm thinking about getting it detailed next week. Maybe some new seat covers." "Sounds like a plan." The neighbours start arriving around 5. Mrs. Patterson brings a casserole. The Johnsons bring wine. The Millers bring their teenage daughter, who immediately starts taking selfies with Delilah's kids. "Kylie's been such a help with everything," Mom tells Mrs. Patterson as I serve potato salad. "She's really found her place here." "That's wonderful, dear," Mrs. Patterson says to me. "It's so nice when families stick together during hard times." Dad raises his beer. "To Delilah and to family taking care of family." Everyone toasts. Delilah beams. Her kids run around the yard, sticky with barbecue sauce and happiness. "Speech! Speech!" someone calls out. Delilah stands up, still holding her wine glass. "I just want to say how grateful I am. When my old car died, I thought I was stuck. But my family stepped up. My sister especially." She looks at me. "Kylie gave me this car without even thinking twice. That's what real family does." More applause. I smile and wave from behind the grill. "And my parents," Delilah continues, "for always having an open door and an open heart. For showing me that no matter what happens, family is forever." Dad wipes his eyes. Mum clutches her chest. The neighbours murmur about what a beautiful sentiment that is. "I promise I'll take good care of this car," Delilah says, jingling the keys. "And I'll never forget what you all sacrificed for me." The party continues until almost 9. I serve dessert and coffee, collect plates, and wipe down tables while everyone else relaxes on the porch. The kids fall asleep in lawn chairs. The adults get progressively louder and more sentimental. "You raised good girls," Mr. Johnson tells Dad. "Kylie's always been the responsible one," Dad replies. "Never gave us any trouble. Always puts family first." Around 10, people start leaving. I'm loading the dishwasher when Delilah comes into the kitchen. "Thanks for tonight. The food was perfect." "You're welcome. I know this hasn't been easy for you, giving up the car and everything, but it really means a lot." I'm glad it's working out. She hugs me, smelling like wine and barbecue smoke. "You're the best sister anyone could ask for." After she leaves, I finish cleaning up alone. Mum and Dad have gone to bed, leaving me with a sink full of dishes and a backyard full of empty bottles and paper plates. I'm wiping down the last table when I see the envelope in my purse. Van gave it to me yesterday with specific instructions. "Place this somewhere she'll find it after the celebration. Preferably in the car." I walk to the driveway. My Honda sits there looking innocent, still decorated with streamers from the party. I unlock it with my spare key, the one they forgot I had, and place the sealed envelope on the dashboard. The letter inside is brief and professional. It explains the lien, lists the amount owed, and provides 30 days' notice before seizure. Van's business card is stapled to the back. I lock the car and go back inside. Tomorrow I'll call the towing company Van recommended. They'll be here at 7 a.m. sharp before anyone else is awake. I set my alarm for 6:30 and go to bed. In the morning, I make coffee and sit at the kitchen table waiting. At exactly 7, I hear the rumble of a diesel engine in the driveway. The tow truck driver knocks on the front door. He's a big guy with kind eyes and grease under his fingernails. "You the owner of the Honda?" "Yes." "Got the paperwork?" I hand him the lien documents and my registration. He looks them over and nods. "You got a hell of a sense of timing," he says, glancing at the streamers still hanging from the porch. Looks like quite a party. It was. Well, let's get this loaded up. I watch from the kitchen window as he hooks up my car and drives away. The sun is just coming up, painting the sky pink and gold. Upstairs, my family is still sleeping off their celebration. They have no idea what's coming. I'm scrambling eggs when the screaming starts. Where is my car? Delilah's voice carries through the entire house. I hear her bare feet pounding down the stairs, then the front door slamming. More screaming from the driveway. Mom! Dad! Someone stole my car! I flip the eggs and turn the heat down. The bacon is almost done. Dad thunders down the stairs in his bathrobe. What's all the noise? The Honda's gone! Delilah bursts through the kitchen door, still in her pajamas. It was right there last night, and now it's gone. Gone? Mum appears behind Dad, clutching her coffee mug. What do you mean? Gone. I mean, gone. Not in the driveway, not on the street. Gone. Dad pushes past her toward the front door. Did you check the whole block? Of course I checked the whole block. It's not there. I plate the eggs and set them on the counter. Breakfast is ready. Forget! Breakfast! Delilah spins toward me. My car is missing. Did you call the police? Mom asks. That's what I'm doing now. Delilah dials 911 with shaking fingers. Hello! I need to report a stolen vehicle. Dad comes back inside. No broken glass in the driveway. No tyre marks. Professional job. Professional job? Mum's voice goes up an octave. You think it was professionals? Had to be. Car thieves are getting sophisticated these days. Delilah is giving the 911 operator our address. It's a silver Honda Civic license plate. She pauses. I don't know the license plate number. It's in the glove box, I say, buttering toast. The glove box is in the stolen car, Delilah snaps. I have it written down somewhere. Where? I'll look for it. The police arrive 20 minutes later. Officer Martinez is young and thorough, taking notes while Delilah explains about the party, the neighbours, how the car was definitely there at 10 p.m. Any enemies? He asks. Anyone who might want to target you specifically? No, everyone loves me. Ask anyone. What about the car's history, previous owners, outstanding loans? It was my sister's car, Delilah says. She gave it to me 2 weeks ago. Officer Martinez looks at me. You're the previous owner? Yes. Any problems with the transfer? Paperwork issues? No problems. I'll need to see the title and registration. Delilah looks panicked. I don't have those yet. We were going to do the paperwork this week. So the car is still registered in your name? He asks me. Yes. Officer Martinez closes his notebook. Ma'am, I can't file a stolen vehicle report for a car that's not legally yours. But she gave it to me, Delilah protests. Verbally, yes, but legally, it still belongs to your sister. She'd have to be the one to report it stolen. All eyes turn to me. I'm spreading jam on toast, taking my time. Kylie, Dad's voice has an edge. Do you want to report your car stolen? I don't think it was stolen. What do you mean? Mum asks. I mean, I know where it is. The kitchen goes dead silent. Officer Martinez reopens his notebook. You know where it is? Delilah's voice is barely a whisper. It's been repossessed. Repossessed? Dad steps forward. For what? I walk to the counter and pull out a manila envelope. I left this in the car last night. I guess you didn't see it. Delilah snatches the envelope and tears it open. Her face goes white as she reads. What does it say? Mum demands. Delilah's hands are shaking. It's a bill. A bill for what? For services rendered. Delilah looks up at me. $67,000. Dad grabs the letter. What the hell is this? It's an itemized invoice for 2 years of unpaid labour, I say calmly. Cooking, cleaning, childcare, shopping, laundry, everything I've done since I moved back home. This is insane, Mum breathes. The car is being held as collateral until the debt is paid, I continue. It's all explained in the letter. Officer Martinez clears his throat. This is a civil matter. I'll leave you folks to work it out. After he leaves, the kitchen erupts. You can't be serious. Delilah waves the letter. You can't charge family for helping out. I can, and I did. This is extortion. Dad's face is red. You're trying to extort your own family. I'm trying to get paid for my work. Work? Mum laughs bitterly. You call living here work? I call cooking every meal, doing every load of laundry, and cleaning every mess work. Yes. We gave you a place to live, Dad shouts, and I gave you a full-time housekeeper. The market rate for my services is $67,000. The market rate for basement rent is $19,000. You owe me the difference. Delilah is crying now. I have to get the kids to school. I have to get to work. I need that car. Then pay me what you owe me. I don't have $67,000. Then I guess you don't have a car. Kylie, this is cruel, Mum says. This is your family. My family that treats me like hired help. We don't treat you like hired help. You literally introduced me to the neighbours as our live-in help last month. Dad's mouth opens and closes. Mum stares at her coffee mug. There's a cab voucher in the glove box, I say to Delilah. My last act of service. Don't contact me about this again. All communication goes through my lawyer now. I pick up my breakfast plate and head toward the basement stairs. Where are you going? Mum calls. To pack. I'm moving out today. You can't just leave. Watch me. Behind me, Delilah is sobbing. Dad is cursing. Mum is making those little whimpering sounds she makes when she's overwhelmed. I close the basement door and start throwing clothes into garbage bags. My phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number. Saw the tow truck video on TikTok. You're my hero. I look up tow truck video and find it immediately. Someone filmed the whole thing from their bedroom window this morning. The caption reads, "When your maid finally quits." It has 50,000 views already. I screenshot it and send it to Jade with a message. I think I'm going viral. Jade's spare bedroom is tiny, but it's mine. No one expects me to cook breakfast or fold laundry or explain where I'm going. I've been here 3 days and I still wake up surprised by the silence. Coffee's ready, Jade calls from the kitchen. I find her scrolling through her phone, grinning. Your video hit 1 million views. It's not my video. Okay, the video of your revenge hit 1 million views. People are obsessed. Look at these comments. She shows me her screen. Hundreds of comments calling me a queen and sharing their own family horror stories. Someone started a hashtag, pay your maid. This is insane. This is justice. People are tired of being taken advantage of by family. My phone buzzes. Text from Mum. Please, call me. We need to talk. I show Jade. She shakes her head. Don't do it. You said all communication goes through Van. She's probably panicking. The kids still need to get to school. Not your problem anymore. Another text, this one from Dad. This has gone far enough. Come home and we'll discuss this like adults. Then, Delilah, I can't believe you're doing this to me, to your own niece and nephew. I block all 3 numbers. Good, Jade says. Now finish your coffee, we're going shopping. I can't afford to go shopping. You can afford a new outfit for your meeting with that nonprofit today. Consider it an investment. The meeting is at a women's resource centre downtown. The director, Sarah, is maybe 40, with kind eyes, and the tired look of someone who's seen too much. Jade told me about your situation, she says. I have to say, your approach is... creative. I just wanted them to understand what my work was worth. And now I want to help other people in similar situations, if that's possible. Sarah pulls out a folder. We get calls every week from women trapped in family situations like yours, adult children providing unpaid care, sisters supporting brothers who won't work, daughters-in-law treated like servants. Most of them don't know they have options. What kind of options? Legal options, financial options, sometimes just the knowledge that they're not crazy for feeling exploited. I could help with that. We're looking for someone to develop a program, support groups, legal workshops, resource guides. The pay isn't much, but it's meaningful work. I'm interested. There's one thing. Sarah hesitates. Your situation has gotten a lot of attention. Some of it positive, some not. Are you prepared for that? Before I can answer, my phone rings. Unknown number. Don't answer it, Sarah says. We've been getting calls all morning. Reporters wanting to interview you. Reporters? Your story hit the news, local first, then national. Woman bills family 67K for unpaid labour is trending on Twitter. I stare at my phone, it's ringing again. I should probably go home. This is your home now, Jade says when I tell her about the reporters. At least until you find your own place. I can't hide forever. You're not hiding, you're regrouping. My laptop chimes with a new email. The subject line reads, Legal action, urgent. It's from a law firm I don't recognise. They're representing Delilah in a lawsuit for emotional distress and intentional infliction of harm. They want me to return the car immediately and pay damages for public humiliation. They're suing me, I tell Jade. For what? Emotional distress. They say I humiliated them publicly. You didn't post that video. Doesn't matter. They say my actions caused it. I forward the email to Van. He calls back within an hour. Don't worry about this, he says. It's a nuisance suit. They're hoping to scare you into backing down. Will it work? Not if you don't let it. We have documentation of everything. They have hurt feelings. What do I do? Nothing. I'll handle it. But, Kylie? Yeah? You might want to stay away from social media for a while, and maybe don't answer your door. Too late. The doorbell rings as soon as I hang up. Kylie? A woman's voice through the door. I'm Rebecca from Channel 7 News. I'd love to talk to you about your story. Jade peers through the blinds. There's a news van in the driveway. And 2 more cars, I say, looking out the back window. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. You're an inspiration. My sister has been using me as free childcare for 3 years. How do I stop? Then another. Saw your story. My brother moved in temporarily 5 years ago. Still here, still not paying rent. What did you do first? And another. You gave me the courage to leave my family's house. Thank you. Jesus, Jade says, reading over my shoulder. How many people are dealing with this? More than I thought. The doorbell rings again. This time it's a different reporter. We should go out the back, Jade says. I can't run forever. You're not running. You're choosing when and how to tell your story. But as we sneak out through Jade's backyard, I realise I'm not sure what my story is anymore. It started as revenge against my family. Now it's something bigger. My phone buzzes with another message. My mum saw your story on the news. She finally understands why I moved out. Thank you for giving me the words. Maybe that's what this is really about. Not just getting my car back or making my family pay. Maybe it's about giving people permission to value themselves. The thought terrifies and thrills me in equal measure. The courthouse steps are packed with reporters when Van and I arrive for the hearing. Cameras flash as we push through the crowd. Kylie! How do you respond to claims that you're destroying your family? Are you really asking for $67,000? Do you regret your actions? Van guides me through the chaos. Don't say anything. Let me handle this. Inside, the courtroom is surprisingly full. I spot my parents in the front row with Delilah, who's wearing a black dress like she's attending a funeral. Her lawyer is a sharp-looking woman in an expensive suit. That's Margaret Chen, Van whispers. She specializes in family law, probably costing them a fortune. They can afford her, but not my bill. Priorities? Judge Harrison calls the court to order. He's an older man with grey hair and tired eyes, like he's seen every kind of family drama imaginable. This is a motion to dismiss the lien and a countersuit for emotional distress, he announces. Ms. Chen, you may proceed. Delilah's lawyer stands. Your Honour, this case represents a fundamental abuse of the legal system. The defendant has weaponized a legitimate business tool to extort her own family. Objection, Van says. The lien was filed properly and legally. Sustained. Continue, Miss Chen. My client provided her sister with housing, food, and emotional support during a difficult time. In return, the defendant has publicly humiliated her family and caused severe emotional distress. She presents printed screenshots of social media posts, news articles, and the TikTok video. This has gone viral, Your Honour. My client's children are being teased at school. Her neighbours are treating her like a pariah. Your Honour, Van stands, the plaintiff is not being sued for providing housing. She's being billed for services she received. Services that were documented, quantified, and provided in good faith. Good faith? Delilah's lawyer scoffs. This is revenge, pure and simple. Judge Harrison looks at me. Ms. Morgan, please approach the bench. I walk forward on shaking legs. The judge studies me over his glasses. Did you really keep track of every hour you worked for 2 years? Yes, Your Honour. Why? Because I felt invisible, like my work didn't matter to them. And you believe your family owes you $67,000? I believe they owe me recognition that my work had value. The money is just how we measure that value. He nods slowly. Return to your seat. Van presents our evidence. Bank statements showing I paid for groceries. Photos of me cooking, cleaning, babysitting. Receipts for gas, household supplies, children's clothes. 2 years of documentation. This isn't about money, Van says. This is about a young woman who was taken advantage of by people who should have protected her. Objection! Delilah's lawyer jumps up. Inflammatory! Overruled. Continue, Mr. Brewer. The plaintiff claims emotional distress, but where's her concern for the emotional distress she caused my client? Where's her gratitude for $67,000 worth of free labour? Van pulls out a folder. I'd like to present additional evidence, Your Honour. What kind of evidence? Communications from other family members. He hands the judge printed emails and text messages. I recognise some of them. Messages from Dad calling me our live-in help. Texts from Mum asking me to handle various household crises. Delilah's constant requests for babysitting. These messages show a pattern of exploitation, Van continues. My client wasn't a family member receiving support. She was unpaid domestic staff. Judge Harrison reads through the messages. His expression grows darker with each page. Ms. Chen, does your client have a response to these communications? Delilah's lawyer whispers frantically with my family. Delilah is crying. Mum looks sick. Dad's face is red with anger. Your Honour, these messages are taken out of context. This is normal family communication. Normal? Judge Harrison holds up one of the texts. This message from the defendant's mother says, and I quote, "Can you handle dinner tonight? I'm too tired to cook." This was sent at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. The defendant was at her paying job. Families help each other, Your Honour. Help is reciprocal, Miss Chen. This appears to be one-sided. Van stands again. Your Honour, I'd like to call a character witness. Proceed. To my surprise, Mrs. Patterson from across the street walks to the witness stand. She's wearing her best dress and looks nervous. Mrs. Patterson, you've observed the defendant's family for several years? Yes, I live across the street. In your observation, what was the defendant's role in the household? She did everything: cooking, cleaning, yard work. I used to joke with my husband that they had the best maid in the neighbourhood. Did you ever see other family members helping with these tasks? Not really. Kylie was always the one working. The others would sit on the porch while she mowed the lawn. Thank you. No further questions. Delilah's lawyer tries to cross-examine, but Mrs. Patterson sticks to her story. That girl worked like a dog for that family. Never saw anything like it. Judge Harrison calls for a recess. During the break, I see my family huddled with their lawyer. Delilah keeps looking at me with a mixture of anger and something that might be shame. When court resumes, the judge has made his decision. The motion to dismiss is denied. The lien stands. Furthermore, I'm awarding the defendant an additional $5,000 in legal fees and court costs. Delilah gasps. Dad starts to stand, but their lawyer pulls him back down. As for the countersuit, Judge Harrison continues, it is dismissed with prejudice. The plaintiff's claim of emotional distress is undermined by her own treatment of the defendant. Your Honour, Delilah's lawyer tries one last time. My client has children to transport. She needs that vehicle. Then she should pay for it. Court is adjourned. The gavel slams down. Reporters rush toward me, but Van hustles me toward a side exit. Kylie! Delilah's voice cuts through the noise. Please! I'm sorry. Can't we work something out? I turn to look at her. She's crying, mascara running down her cheeks. For a moment, she looks like the little sister I used to protect from bullies. You had 2 years to work something out, I say. You chose not to. Outside, Van is grinning. $72,421, plus your car back. Do you think they'll pay? They don't have a choice. The lien is enforceable now. My phone buzzes with a message from an unknown number. Watched the hearing online. You're a hero. Can you help my sister get out too? I show Van the message. He nods. Looks like you're going to be busy? Good, I say. I'm ready to get back to work. The check arrives on a Tuesday morning, delivered by certified mail to Van's office. $72,421, signed by Douglas Morgan in shaky handwriting. They liquidated Dad's retirement account, Van tells me, sliding the check across his desk, and took out a second mortgage. Jesus. You feel bad? I stare at the numbers. All those zeros representing 2 years of my life finally acknowledged. No, I feel free. Van calls the towing company. My Honda is delivered that afternoon, still sporting Delilah's fuzzy dice and baby sticker. I peel them off and throw them in the trash. The keys feel different in my hand. Heavier, somehow. I drive to the Women's Resource Centre where Sarah is waiting with a contract and a smile. Ready to help other people get their lives back? More than ready. My first client is Maria, a 34-year-old teacher who's been supporting her unemployed brother and his girlfriend for 3 years. She sits in my office clutching tissues, telling me about cooking for 4 people every night, and paying utilities while they play video games. I know I should kick them out, she says, but he's family. Family doesn't mean free labour, I tell her. Trust me on that. I show her how to document everything, how to set boundaries, how to calculate what her services are worth. By the end of our session, she's sitting straighter. I'm going to give them 30 days' notice, she says. Official notice. Good. And Maria? You're not responsible for their reaction. The program grows quickly. Word spreads through social media, support groups, and local news coverage. Women drive from 3 states away to attend our workshops. We teach them about liens, small claims court, and the legal value of domestic labour. The best part is the follow-up calls. Maria evicted her brother and bought herself a new couch. Jennifer stopped doing her adult son's laundry, and he finally moved out. Patricia charged her sister for babysitting and used the money for a vacation. You started something, Jade tells me over dinner at my new apartment. It's small, but it's mine. No one else's dishes in the sink, no one else's schedule to follow. I just got tired of being invisible. You're definitely not invisible now. She's right, the story won't die. I get interview requests weekly, speaking invitations monthly. A publisher wants me to write a book about reclaiming your worth in toxic family dynamics. But the best messages are the personal ones. The woman who finally left her mother's house after 20 years of unpaid caregiving. The man who stopped supporting his gambling-addicted brother. The daughter who charged her parents for managing their finances and used the money to buy her own place. My phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number. Saw your interview on the morning show? My family treats me like their personal assistant. How do I start documenting everything? I forward it to my assistant. We get 50 messages like this every week now. The doorbell rings. I'm not expecting anyone, but when I look through the peephole, I see a familiar face. Mom stands on my doorstep holding a casserole dish, looking older than I remember. Her hair is greyer, her shoulders more stooped. Hi, honey. Mum, can I come in? I step aside. She walks into my living room, taking in the furniture I bought myself, the photos on the walls that don't include any of them. Nice place? Thanks. She sets the casserole on my counter. Tuna noodle. I remember it was your favourite. When I was 12. Right. She fidgets with her purse strap. I wanted to apologise. For what specifically? For not seeing. For taking advantage. For letting it go on so long. And for not appreciating what you did for us. What you sacrificed. I pour myself a glass of water. Don't offer her one. Dad's having a hard time, she continues. The mortgage payments are steep. And Delilah, she's struggling without the car. That's not my problem anymore. I know it's not. She looks around my apartment again. You seem happy. I am happy. Good. That's good. We stand there in awkward silence. Finally, she heads toward the door. Will you ever forgive us? I think about this question, about the years of cooking and cleaning and being treated like furniture, about the family meeting where they took my car like it was their right, about the court hearing where they tried to paint me as the villain. I don't know, I say honestly, but I don't need to forgive you to be okay. She nods, tears in her eyes. I understand. After she leaves, I put the casserole in the refrigerator. I might eat it later, or I might throw it away. Either way, it's my choice. My phone rings. It's Maria, my first client. Kylie, I got the job. What job? The promotion I applied for. The one I never thought I'd get because I was too busy taking care of everyone else. I start Monday. That's amazing. I couldn't have done it without you, without learning that my time has value. After we hang up, I sit in my quiet apartment and smile. Outside, traffic moves past my window. People going places, making choices, living their own lives. I grab my keys and head for the door. I'm meeting Jade for drinks, then maybe a movie. Or maybe we'll just drive around with the windows down and the music loud. They called it selfishness. I call it survival. Same road, different driver.